was more than enough time to jump down and get myself at least onto car 3 potentially. He's not moving, so I know where he is, so I don't have to move my crosshair whatsoever. You can see here we're still trying to push across the other side, and this is the right call. Welcome back to another coaching video. So for this Season 4 coaching video, we're going to be doing CTF on Aquarius, and this match is made up of players who have all been Onyx at some point or another. Some notably and more recently 1700 plus, such as Onset, which you might know as the HCS caster who was on the other team, and then excuse my host, who is a consistent top 8 finisher in the HCS European Opens, who was on my team. So the focus on this game is positioning, and we're going to be deep diving into some of the examples from the game that I played on stream yesterday. The positioning that we're looking at is going to be mostly my own, and some of the mistakes or good decisions that I made during the game, so you can learn from them or use them in your own. So in this first example, let's look at a typical match start. So we're both approaching the pump, myself and EMH, we're pushing up. I'm checking to see if they push fridge, they haven't, and I'm checking the mid. This guy comes up. Notice how he decides that he loses the fight and he backs off, and then I back off too because I don't know what support he's got. Now, if you try and break this down in a little more detail, it's important at the start of Aquarius that you move up to take map control and check what the enemy's doing. Here you can see that EMH is in the middle of the map, so this means I know that I need to cover his back. We can also see it at the right hand side. The above average code is also taking some damage as well, so we need to make sure that we're watching the middle just so nothing happens after we've just checked the fridge. As I come round, this guy climbs up, I get the first shot here, so it's really important to know when you get first shot advantage, because this means that, well, essentially as long as you don't miss, the fight's a guaranteed win. And as we go through the fight, you can see the other player kind of recognises this, and as soon as he realises that he's at a disadvantage, he drops. And one of the things that lower ranked players really don't understand is when to leave. Fortunately for him though, my teammate's down there, EMH goes down with the portal gun and secures him. So here I actually made a mistake. I shouldn't have dropped down to check if there's any more enemies, because I've just given up my power position for free. And after so many videos where we've talked about this, it was kind of an embarrassing mistake from me. So this second clip's all about pushing the advantage. So prior to this clip we got a team wipe, and they start spawning in fridge based on position, and we'll go over this. Other guy comes over from the shotgun, back up because he got the first shot, and then I loop around, get him unawares, secure the kill, and then move over to help EMH. Unfortunately for me though, the little lapse in judgment here as EMH uses the portal gun leaves me to die, so let's break it down. See that I'm sort of thinking where to go. As we go through this clip, it's important for us to go through a new shot call to show just why I made the split second decision to pull away from Gen where my teammates were. So we've got the 4 arrows on the map here. So we've just scored some kills on the team. We know 3 of them are dead. There's 1 guy left. As we collapse, I had 2 choices. Either I can push this way, and if you look what this does, this actually closes the map down such that they'll spawn over here. And this is the choice that I actually take, because the other choice would have been to push really far into here really quickly, which would have then caused them to potentially spawn back base, stop us from pushing and getting onto the base. And you can see that just because I move slightly towards the middle of the map while throwing the plasma grenade allows me to get the spawn kill on one of the enemy players. Spawns just over here. So the thought process at this point is that I'm currently in danger. If you look, I've got half shield, so I'm trying to loop around and try to get the jump on this other player. This is probably a little bit of an ego challenge. Sometimes you have to take risks in order to win the game, and at the moment my team's at an advantage. So if I decided that I was going to end up dying, it's not going to set us back too far because we're pushed so far forward. Around the corner, I think he whiffs the melee, I just get over and get the shot and get him in the head there, and then as I run across, I can see that EMH is in combat and actually he's shooting this way up above me. So I think, well, I'm too low, so I can't really help him out. So I run, and then I make this weird decision because my shields have regened. I think I can fight this, but unfortunately for me, EMH couldn't fight it and he used the portal gun to get out. So you could say there was some miscommunication, but at this point, still decided to go forward anyway, and I took damage. So I end up getting killed. So it's important to be able to expect things quickly in Halo, and especially moments like this where my teammate left. That was my cue to get the hell out of there. That's another avoidable death. So as you can see in this next clip, this is all about anchoring. So anchoring is where you create a safe space, a safe spawn location, and hold crossfires for your teammates. Now there's a big misconception with anchoring. It's that you always need to stay really, really far away. And as this sequence plays out, all the anchoring stuff I was doing was right, but actually, as you see here, as we go to pull the flag, here Nature's down, Cody's up there running the flag. Me and Stars should have been up there to help him, and in this case I was actually anchoring too far behind. So let's break down sort of what we could have done instead, how this could have been played better, and potentially what the solution could have been to lead us to perhaps capturing this flag. So as you can see here, I'm staying back, I'm trying to help Stars. We can see there's a fight breaking out at the other team's gen, but that's okay. Notice how I don't leave the high ground, staying up here, making it so that the enemy can't push Stars. The guy's in the fridge. I really need to hold this power position, so I get as much damage as I can. Stars goes in, finishes the kill, and at this point, we should have recognized that Cody needed help. So you could argue that maybe we shouldn't have even pushed for the flag. Maybe at this point that this was a dead pull, but if you really want to try to pull the flag and try to go all the way across, sometimes it can be a bit of a slog. So I'm still sort of waiting and waiting and waiting, and this was more than enough time to jump down and get myself at least onto car 3 potentially, so I could help him out. So the idea of keeping the sight lines, you see all the places that I can currently see. I can see here, I can see here, I can see here, etc, etc. I'm not in proximity to react quickly, and this is a big issue. As we carry on, you can see that Cody's now in a fight. I didn't push up, and now there's sort of nothing to do. Stars have just kind of started to move up, but we're just too far away. A technique that a lot of players don't use. This is called jiggle peeking. So if you just watch what happens here, you can see that I'm using the wall, and I'm literally moving back and forth in between shots. So that guy shoots, scope in to get the accuracy, reduce the spread, scope in and shoot, back around the corner, scope in and shoot. And at this point, he's not moving, so I know where he is, so I don't have to move my crosshair whatsoever. So he's kind of a sitting duck. And even though we don't get the kill here, the pressure itself just forces him off, which makes a big difference to the engagement in general. Now usually when we use the replay tool in Infinite, we don't play with outlines turned on, but in this case we are going to play outlines turned on just to accentuate the point of why turning away was such a bad idea. So if we play the clip, you can see that there's a player covered by my gun. I do play with offsets, so I should have seen this player. You can see that he's actually in my scope there, so I should have been aware that he was advancing. And as he moves across, I'm backing off for safety, but during this time, because I think this way is safe, what I'm actually doing is I'm opening up the map for the other team, and my team isn't there to respond. We don't have a crossfire, so giving this up was actually a really bad idea. As the anchor on the base, it's my responsibility to keep sightlines open, try and call out anyone that tries to run across the middle of the map. My current teammates that are alive can't actually do that. And at the moment where I turn away, these players actually advance up the side. And I move this way onto a side of the map that we already have, and this essentially gives map control away on the gen side of our base, and this allows them to push up. The problem here is then we're essentially trying to play the retake, and because we're in a choke point, and these guys can support each other, they have the advantage that they cause pressure, so we're kind of forced to engage on them. And what happens is this leads to my death, it leads to my teammate's death because of the duel that we lose, and then it leads to the enemy team pushing the flag up through util, which eventually leads in them scoring the flag. So this decision for me to turn away was essentially what cost us the game, because this game actually finished 2-1. And now, as we said in short call, we've essentially given them the base for free, which means they have control of our side of the map, and now we have to play the retake. You can see here they switch out with us, or the classic switcheroos. Now we're even. You see the rest of their teams pushing up behind them, leads to my death. Cody tries to come up to clean, but then as we go around, they get the flag off of the base, and they begin to run it down car side. Now, the issue with it being run down car side is because they're all on this side with our flag, we're going to end up spawning over on the fridge side. You can see that we've just spawned up on the fridge side on the mouse, just there. Big problem for us because we have to cover a large amount of distance, and util is one of the safest ways to pull the flag. You can see here we're still trying to push across the other side, and this is the right call, but because of the amount of cover that they have, this leads to them capturing the flag, and essentially this decision loses us the game. So hopefully this is a good lesson in how you should turn away or not, how you should manage map control, and how you should be cautious that even leaving the base for a second and giving up that map control Well, if it's at the wrong time, it can potentially lead to the team scoring your flag. And there's our coaching video for this week. Quite a different format, focusing on specific sequences within the match that had the most impact, particularly the one where the enemy team ended up scoring a flag. We did have some flag runs that got scored, but I didn't want to make this entire video just about flag runs. I wanted to get some different things from here and there to try and make it so that you guys were able to see sort of what this format would be like in the future. We tried some new editing stuff as well, nothing too groundbreaking. I just really wanted to see how you guys would respond to this type of video. Very fun to make, lots of things to consider and different angles to think about. We got to use the theatre and that sort of stuff, not just Vodon, not just shot call. But I'd be very happy to know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed it and you're new here, consider leaving a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. This is something we do every week as long as hints and tips videos. We like to cover HCS every so often when new pieces of equipment come out to see how the pros are using things. And all in all, we just like to keep up with Halo Infinite as well as streaming on a Wednesday as well. So this has been Vanadam. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys.